universe sees all.
Good morning, Patricia Parker, and everyone, community, new subscribers. Patricia, thanks so much for having joined the community and commenting and interacting with everyone, and especially for the generous contribution on myevent.com. I love you for it. Thank you very much. I saw it this morning. This, my friends, is the truth about the surface. There are hundreds of different events that cannot be characterized as the same type of anomaly. Whether they're UFOs, drones, or just, we know that it's a massive form of energy. And there are many forms of energy on the surface of the moon, massive forms of energy, including large explosions that bring smoke up off of the surface, which I'm going to show you. And when we analyze these events, they're seen very small, because the moon is far away, and that's what they tell us. Whether you can say it's at 10,000 kilometers from us or not, we still know that it's because it's far that these objects are small and hard to see. When you see a stack like that, or something coming up off the surface with a base that's symmetrical, you know that there's construction there, and there's no need for any silly, ridiculous filters to show that. Here's a green color, and it's converted. You've heard of a negative image? That's all I'm doing. We can't really see the surface on the moon. There's smokes and hazes. Why do you think all the craters look like they're the same depth? They're very bumpy and rocky, these interior of craters. They're not symmetrical or smooth, like even NASA has told us in many regions. Sinus irritum, right? Look at this explosion. Very important that we look at this and analyze what you're seeing. Well, there's an explosion, but also the smoke seen leaving after the explosion appears. Watch. No smoke, flash of light, smoke immediately. They're taking off, or they are explosions. It can't be anything else. It's one or the other. We can see the explosion so very well right here, slowing it down. That's a massive, like 2-3 kilometer wide, even maybe 3-4 kilometers wide of an explosion. And that's definitely something. If you have quantum entanglement between two black holes, and it's what I believe they are studying right now and why they are going to see black holes. They're trying to create their own wormhole. 12 days ago, holographically, one was created in a lab. And the quantum entanglement is that between two black holes, there should be, in theory, and also in relativity, because Einstein did not believe in quantum physics, and that was the missing piece of his information to understand the wormholes. A wormhole should have a part of the universe that is unconnectable, which is always connected and always remains together, whether they are separated or not. Because what's the use of a wormhole, Einstein said, if there's not another end to it? And it disappears and it doesn't remain there. Between two black holes, they could get to from one area to the other. And that is what's scaring me, because that's what they're testing out there in space. So I believe that they're going to try, if not already, to create a wormhole from Earth center to the moon center, so that they could go to the moon through that wormhole and keep that connection up all the time, which is basically invisible, right? Traveling through dark matter. The whole universe consists mostly of dark matter. We've only seen a part of the universe, and they say the universe is always expanding. They got caught, Pentagon themselves, doing research with private secret associations, trying to open portals, Stargate projects, different propulsion type systems on the surface. So look here, guys. One UFO takes off from an area, and the same area, a second one, and there's more on the left appearing. Do you have any idea what that would mean, and how this should absolutely change everything from religion to our complete system? And that's why it's not coming out in a big way. Many, many different events that I've captured proof of them actually working or even fighting, what looks like fighting, but there's many explosions on the moon. Look at the sky light up on the side of the moon like never seen before. Obviously, it's not something that happens every day, and you'd have to be lucky to catch it, as I did. But we see lights either being shot at or shot out of the surface of the moon or off of the surface of the moon without necessarily saying that they're inside of the moon. This is a large object crashing onto probably the dark side of the moon, just the very top north side of the moon. We can see its shape. I've shown this before with the colors and stuff. I caught this about 2 years ago. It's absolutely incredible, everything that's going on around the moon when you take the time to look at it. This one here is one of my best, where we see craft on and in the atmosphere of the moon, but there's smokes coming out behind them. Are they applying chemicals to the moon, or is there a war there? We see two smaller ones or lower ones closer to the surface underneath. So I'm not going to tell people there are millions of people there, but I can guarantee you for sure we know there are hundreds or thousands. What would it look like seeing a UFO travel through a wormhole? Probably like that. Now, if this isn't just a quick takeoff UFO propulsion, it's literally developing a point on its nose and disappears. But right after it disappears, a streak of light appears in the sky. Look at it here approaching, and it even goes out of place. Look, boom, boom. Like there was a cut frame there, which there's no cut frames there. That's the problem. It took off and disappeared and traveled through some type of invisible path or wormhole. I believe the entire universe is like a bowl of spaghetti noodles, and all those noodles are actually unconnectable, related to quantum physics or entanglement, right? Quantum entanglement, that there's no way of these objects to ever disappear, and they can always be traveled through in theory, but they're not seen. We could see what's around it as it's pressing against space and time and the fabrics of the walls of space and time. That's probably how they would be able to locate it, and it's not hidden. That's, as a matter of fact, how they're able to locate black holes. So just absolutely incredible seeing this bugger take off like that, develop a point, and then take off like Back to the Future. The research that I'm doing is also showing us that there are not just lights on the moon, right? Which for hundreds of years, I'm exaggerating there, but all my life, that's all we've ever heard them say. There's no characteristics about them. This is not transient lunar phenomena. It's flying around. It's unidentified aerial phenomena. It's UFOs, unidentified flying objects. You can see something happening beside it, other lights appearing, and on the surface a light, and right after the light on the surface appears, that object catches on fire, explodes, and you see all the smoke on the surface. So the Pentagon tells us there are lights coming to Earth. Well, this is the moon, lights coming to the moon. And if we're seeing explosions on the moon, are one day the lights that are coming to Earth going to attack Earth? Is it China? Or is it an adversarial country like Russia? Or is it really an alien being? Imagine all the types of beings that can be out there in the universe. Imagine. This is right over Mare Fecunditatis and Endymion crater around there. And look at the craters. And look at the structuring, anomalies or not. They're high rising off of the surface in and out of the craters. There's no smooth crater at all. They have very bumpy surfaces, but they're hard to see because of that stupid film of smoke, cloud or not, atmosphere or not. You could see everything there, right there, clear enough, and it should be enough proof to get people to want to look and invest more time. What are we looking at here is Aristarchus crater, and underneath Aristarchus crater, we see hundreds of thousands of objects, lines. It's all over the surface, right? And that's hidden by that film of smoke that we see. There's a massive, long, very long line near Copernicus crater. I'm sure they don't like me showing it. I'm going to show it again to finish off the video. Patricia Parker, thanks again, and all of you for being here, for the generous contributions, and for believing in this work, guys. This has to get out to the world. Whether I get killed or not, I swear to you, it's going to get out. In my lifetime, I will see this get out. What are you looking at right there? Whoa, let's see this one more time. That is a line connecting a whole bunch of structures and anomalies and objects, mechanics or not, buildings or not. The proof is there, and we could quite easily say that was not formed naturally. And everyone, thanks for the generous contributions, and thanks for watching the videos.
Aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter, cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.